Here's the Chinese elm tree, and you might have recognized that it's not in a bonsai pot, and it does not look bonsai-like at all. It looks messy, there are branches all over the place, and it does not have a nice tree-like shape. So why is that? Because this tree is in a stage of development where you need a different process and a different approach to styling than in other stages of development. And we have the same for software too. Today I want to talk about 3x thinking and how you probably might want to use a different process for different phases of development. My name is David, and in this series I'm talking about software development while working on my bonsai trees and on my pre-bonsai. As I've said, this elm is in a stage where this look is probably appropriate. Here's a needle juniper. It already has the size and the shape and the thickness of the trunk that I was aiming for. It has basically the primary branches set in place, and it already looks a little bit bonsai-like. It's even in a nice bonsai pot and not in this ugly pond basket that we have had with the Chinese elm. So this tree is in a much more refined stage, and here I'm already working on the secondary branching and on the fine structure of the branches here on the ramification that will later make those typical bonsai pads. Here we have a lot of little Chinese elms that I have grown from cuttings last year. They are all just in those tiny pots. I'll probably keep not even half of them, only a few. But here I'm trying to create options quickly. I'm trying to grow all of them and then see which ones grow in the way I like. And then I can decide which to develop and which to basically throw away. So back to this tree. It's June 2025, which is a good time to do some cleanup on this tree, not in all the places. But why am I letting it grow? Because I want to thicken the trunk, I want to work on the main branches, and so on. So what does this have to do with software development? Some time ago, Kent Beck came up with the idea of 3x thinking, where you basically think of the development of software in different phases. First, you have the explore phase, where you don't even know yet what to build. You don't know which of your ideas will take off and which would be not so good. And so what you're trying here is to create lots and lots of different options. Then you have the expand phase, where you've decided to further develop one of those options. And now you're trying to quickly bring it to a state where you can benefit from it. So here's where the crazy stuff happens, where exponential growth happens, where you maybe have to work long hours, but where you also see a lot of progress, where you can generate a lot of ideas, but you're focused on this one design, on this one part of the feature that is working. And then growth slows down. You have a working feature, the basic design is proven, and now you're in the extract phase, where you can extract value from what you did earlier. So here the focus is not rapid growth. The focus is incremental improvements, small improvements, becoming more efficient and just trying to get the most out of what you did before. So this tree is in the explore phase, which means I need rapid growth. And to do that, I'm basically letting it run. I'm still cleaning it up a little bit so that it does not grow completely out of hand, but I'll mostly let it grow wild. Just removing some of the branches that are growing downwards and some other branches that I'm definitely not needing in the design, but I'm just letting it run. In software development, this would be the phase where you iterate quickly, where having an overall vision is important, but also where it's even more important that you can adapt quickly when something happens. Like when you experience exponential growth, you will probably have different problems every day. And so you have to do something different every day. And your plan might already be outdated on day 2. So this is where agile methods, where Kanban shine, And you still probably need a good engineering approach, good tests to not break anything that's already there. Compared to the explore phase, where you might take some technical depth to get feedback quicker. So in the explore phase, you're optimizing for feedback. You're trying to generate ideas quickly, to generate options quickly. And since most of your ideas from this phase will be throwaway, you don't have to develop them to the quality that you would expect from a final product. In the expand phase, you need great quality because otherwise you can't iterate quickly. And in the extract phase, you need great quality to get the most return on investment from what you've expanded before. But in the expand phase, you can maybe use a more plan-driven approach and you can maybe move a little bit slower than in the phases before. So just like the 3 trees I showed you before are in different phases of development, very early development for the small cuttings where I'm trying to create options quickly, then early development or a middle stage for this Chinese elm where I want it to grow quickly, but the basic design or some of the options are already set in. And the refinement stage for the needle juniper we saw before, where the shape of the tree is already set in place and I'm working on the details. We have the same phases for software development, where we first explore, where we generate options and ideas quickly and where we optimize for options. Then the expand phase, where we optimize for feedback and try to quickly expand something that seems to work in something that is working. And then the extract phase, where we optimize for return on investment, where we try to extract value from what we expanded before. In a bigger software project, there will be different parts of the project in different stages of those 3. So you might have something where you already extract value, some ideas that you're expanding quickly, and some parts where you're still creating options or where you're still trying to find ideas. And when you use the same approach for all of those 3 phases, you will probably not generate enough value. When you try to do a plan-driven approach for the explore phase, you will not generate ideas. When you use a chaotic experimenting approach for the extract phase, you will probably not generate enough return on investment because you might break things. So which approach do you use where? We can talk about this in a later video and with a different tree maybe. But what do you think? How do you adapt to the different phases? How are the phases treated in your project? Or do you treat them all the same? How is that working for you? Please tell me in the comments of this video or on Mastodon.